The guys everywhere don't really pay attention to shit. Your voice is getting crackly, your old man this, my old man that.
Horn.
Yes. Fucking Zio Enzo with a goddamn horn. Like, you really need, I need to see some evidence before I go back to the sleep doctor. I need to have a horn.
Go to the doctor.
Next time my wife is like, "Did you just go to the sleep doctor? You see a fucking horn in my head? I'm not going to the sleep doctor yet."
Welcome to I Love You So Much. My name is Reed Fish. I'm here with my good friend Tyler Labine.
Hey, everybody.
We are two divorced dads getting better. Oh, yeah.
Period.
Done.
That's it. I'm not even going to qualify
better.
that anymore. Just we're getting better. If we're not by now.
Exactly. Inspiration, we got Will Sasso, a good guy. Will is here. Thank you, Will.
My Canadian brethren.
Oh, wow. All right, more Canadians. Okay,
well, I've known Will. I mean, I've known of Will since I was 14, maybe. You were on Madison.
I've known of you. And then we met. Do you remember when we first met?
Was it on a plane? Was it when? No.
I met you literally at an audition. I'm a couple years older than you.
Yeah.
And we were little boys.
Yeah.
And I remember you.
I do remember. I mean, you were by the time I was getting work in Vancouver, it was Will Sasso was, you'd already had Madison. I guest starred on Madison as a bully of one of the brother of one of the kids. And I was like, dude, you're just one of those names. I was like, Will Sasso, and then you MADtv, and we're all very proud of you. And then I moved to LA, and we ran into each other a few times here.
Yeah.
It's just been this relationship throughout our lives where we would see each other on planes back and forth in Vancouver here. And then we did a couple things together.
And Breaker High was another one of the awesome, I don't know, what the fuck is the predisposition with Canada and teen high school shows? Degrassi.
Degrassi,
and then
Breaker
there's
High.
Everything else.
Yeah.
Well, ours is on a boat.
Student Bodies. That's another Canadian YTV student show about a bunch of kids at high school or junior high. Student Bodies.
Student Bodies. That title sounds a little.
Yeah.
It sounds
is it sort of like Euphoria? Are they fucking each other?
No, I think it was more the student body, and then also. There's a lot of bodies, but not hot bodies. I don't know. It was definitely wasn't sexual innuendo. No,
a few more minutes on the title.
Yeah.
Well,
but I wish I had an answer for that. Why Canada is fascinated with,
maybe
especially going to school on a cruise ship.
Well, let's start. We always start our show with confessions, Will. So you're gonna have to gonna have to have one. My confession is, is it embarrassing? I don't know if it's embarrassing, but here it is. I've been eating too much salami. And that is not a euphemism.
All right. This is literally you've been eating too many.
I've been eating too much salami /
a lot of nitrates in there, man.
Nitrates, saturated fat, sodium, all the stuff, right? So it's I feel like I need to slow down.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think it's just a go-to snack. I've been.
You're it's protein.
It's protein. It's the whole thing. And of course,
I've
been living on my own for a year. I'm a grown man. I can eat salami whenever I want. No one's telling me not to eat salami except for my doctor.
You're eating salami over the fucking sink?
No, I don't spill the
garbage
salami.
can.
Yeah. I just feel cheese and salami is a nice go-to snack for me, and it's I don't need to do that every day.
Okay, I don't disagree that is a good go-to snack though. They have a little chunk of meat with some cheese, some protein, fat, But you have not done much with your fuel.
Yeah,
through the day, you don't. No.
You just made Will really uncomfortable.
You haven't taken that fuel, which is a lot of fat, which you can go
and then go exercise and lift weights
That's good. We need fat. Our brain runs on fat. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. But now I'm going to start eating more salami
because
I want to get smarter.
Fat. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm confessing because I do want to make a change. I'm not going to give up salami. I'm not a salami.
No, heavens no.
No.
You're a salami champ, and we want you to stay the champion of salami.
Right. Thank you.
We, on this show, came to terms with the fact that I have been on a GLP-1. I didn't realize I was taking one called tirzepatide. I was like, I don't think that's the same thing. It is. It's exactly the same thing. And it's been really great for me. I've also put in a ton of work with my diet and working out.
Yeah. You look great.
Thanks,
and you're going off.
Yeah, and it's the first time in my life where we've talked about this too, where the food noise has kind of gone away, and I go to the gym and I can see the work, as I put in the work for years with not seeing the thing. And I remember when we were shooting Super Troopers 2, I was literally living off water and protein powder, just shaken up in the morning, and then I wouldn't eat all day, and I go to the gym and just fucking bust my ass all night because I was newly sober and just not, you know what I mean? It was pointless. So my confession is that I have been living this sort of, subsidized diet life. And it was all about balance for me before. It was very much about like making sure that I kept everything in balance with the workout and the food and being conscientious of my macros and my micros. I've completely stopped doing that. I'm just eating fucking fun size Halloween candy and like and ice cream, and like he's going like, well, the GLP-1's got it. I'm okay. I'm not gaining weight, but I'm also not feeling very good. I have a lot of diarrhea. I can feel this like saturation of like kind of grossness in my body from like the amount of just junk I'm eating, and I feel like I've turned sugar into my new alcohol. It's just a fucking drug for me, and I'm eating it a lot, and my partner has noticed it, and I've noticed it, and I want to be accountable and say that's not how I want to feel.
All right. Well, I have a little follow-up question for this, because you are about to embark on a movie shoot for a few weeks.
7 weeks,
if people do know, sets of movies and stuff, there's Crafty. There's like the craft service table, and there's kind of all this. There's all the stuff.
That's not my thing, honestly. On set is when I'm the most kind of
focused.
Yeah.
So you don't reach for that.
I don't graze. No, I bring my own food to set. I tell them what my dietary constraints are. I drink water only. I'm like, I don't. Yeah.
Wow.
And also, when I eat on set, my reflex gets crazy, and I have to clear my throat constantly. So honestly, a very unhealthy thing I do is usually I don't eat all day, and then I eat something at night. Yeah, which is not healthy.
Now they just call that intermittent fasting.
Yeah, now it's
right.
And you can do
now it's healthy.
22-hour IF.
Holy fuck. Well, can I just say, with regard to the movie Super Troopers 2, which we were both in, you picked the shitty time to be sober.
Yeah.
And we had a great time on that.
Yeah, didn't we end up on Willie Nelson's bus at one point?
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
I got asked to leave because I was sober.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah, it was making everybody feel weird that I
did not make it
smoking.
onto the bus. Yeah. But that checks out. And I'm not really into alcohol, but back then I was smoking weed.
Yeah.
And so it was one or the other or both for the whole gang.
Those dudes party.
The Broken Lizard fellas, and then there's Hayes MacArthur, myself, and Tyler made up these Mounties in the movie. So there's like the American cops and the Canadian cops, and we were out in wherever
Waltham, Massachusetts.
Okay,
outside of Boston.
Yeah, but our weekend was like Tuesday, Wednesday, or something.
Yeah, we had weird
so we're
weeks,
just disturbing the whole hotel, and I just want to say, you
picked a shitty time.
Yeah.
There's one other thing before you get to your confession. I want to say this to you forever. When we were shooting the movie, you and I were putting a few things on tape here and there, and you helped me put a tape together for Succession. For the part that Nicholas Braun got for the cousin.
Oh, I remember putting you on tape. I don't remember it was for that.
That's you were reading off camera, and I recently found it and I watched it back, and you're doing an impression of Brian Cox. And we're doing a movie with Brian Cox.
Yeah.
We didn't know Brian Cox was going to be
that's wild.
In Succession, but you're doing this like fuck off. You're doing this like full Brian Cox impression, and then Brian Cox ended up being.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe just because we were working with him,
yeah. But it's a full Brian Cox impression.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know if you had some sort of precognition for that, but it was like a.
Yeah, that's super weird.
Yeah,
I mean, at that point, my only Brian Cox would have been William. I'm your uncle, Argyle.
That's all you needed. Yeah. Over and over again.
Confession.
Confession.
And listen, man, it can be
as juicy as you want.
Well, Reed took mine.
Oh shit. Reed does that.
He walked in here thinking he was just going to talk about
confession. I mean, food confessions are good.
Yeah.
But I'm always fucking up with that,
Well, what does that mean, fucking up?
Well, cured meats, sugar. That's so that I'm not breaking new ground there. I would say saying yes to doing my friend's podcast. No matter what. Just like, where I got to be, pal.
Yeah.
But mostly. I'd mentioned this on. I know you had Ethan Suplee on, who's just the man. What an incredible, talking about staying on your P's and Q's.
Yeah.
So I did his podcast a while back, and we were talking about that kind of thing. And I remember we talked about what's the most gluttonous I don't give a shit back in the day kind of thing you did. And I told him about eating fucking Ben and Jerry's ice cream at 1,000,000 o'clock outside of 7-Eleven with with like a pocket knife.
Yeah.
Where you're like, fuck it. And it's like, it's hard.
Carve that snack out. Yeah,
like an apple.
Those 7-Eleven freezers are way too cold, man.
Yeah. And then it's just, and it melts it halfway through. So it's like just dripping down your arm and people looking at, and that's a good one. So kids, if you're, like, don't worry, it gets better. I don't know.
It does get better. It gets better than that.
So. Yeah. Oh, it's certainly, yeah.
Certainly better than that. Yeah.
That's
7-Eleven has
that's
a whole
honestly
variety
not
of
the worst
snacks.
low of someone,
No, and certainly not for a 7-Eleven parking lot.
Yeah.
Not even
exactly.
close.
No.
And then if you're living, I'll be driving by a 7-Eleven parking lot and, so it's nice. It's sort of a thing now where it's like, oh, I don't think I'll ever, that's too fucked up. For me. But it feels good.
It's a bridge too far. Yeah, 7-Eleven will never look the same. Yeah, I saw a guy get curb stomped in a 7-Eleven parking lot, literally, and that for me is always, every time I see 7-Eleven.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Me too now, because I'll never forget that.
Speaking of Canada,
Let's speak of
Not I see.
I see. No, see. You're Italian. You can say that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to say that.
I watched Diener.
Oh, did you?
1983.
Oh, yeah.
On 1983?
89.
89.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love those guys. Your performance in that, though, was just tickled the shit out of me.
Oh,
man.
cheers.
And I didn't know if you borrowed any of that from your dad, like in real life.
Yeah,
or,
no.
No? That was all just you doing Canadiana?
Well, as you mentioned, so my folks are off the boat from Italy.
Yeah.
And that's just an amalgam of, our coaches and teachers and shit, friends, dads and stuff growing up.
It was bang on, man.
In Vancouver, and that accent is sort of it's sort of the same in Northern Ontario, but it's a little different in Alberta, like the whatever you want to call it, the hoser accent or whatever. Yeah. Where I grew up, it's like whatever. Half the town it sounds like that, and the other half doesn't, and I don't understand. Why?
How does that happen? Dialects within a small Canadian town.
Yeah,
with varying.
Half the people are like, "Hey, what's going on?" You go, "Hey, fuck, hey, what's up?
What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
Just out for a rip there, eh, bud? Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Canadian accents are fucking rad, man. And in Vancouver, we have what we think is not an accent until you leave Vancouver and you come back and you're like, "Oh, you guys have a fucking accent, man." It's this really people called me like Tyler, and like my brother's name was Cam. To the camera, hey Cam, Kyle, Cam.
Yeah,
it's like Vancouverites have a really dumb accent.
We add syllables. We have vowel syllables where the Cam.
Yeah, for sure, man. Cam.
Yeah,
hey Cam.
Kyle.
But you don't have it.
Well, no. So when I was like 13, you probably had the same rite of passage. I went and did "Are You Afraid of the Dark" in Montreal.
Oh wow!
It was an American director. I don't know why. And I had one scene, and I said something with the word "out" in it. So at the time, I said out. I can't even do it anymore. Something like, get out. And cut. And he just berated me in front of a French Canadian crew. So they were going in on it as well. But he just got in my face and was like, "Can you say the word ouch? Ouch, like ouch." I was like, ouch. He's like, not ouch, ouch. I'm like, ouch. Now take that and put a T on it. Out. And I was like 15, and he just fucking embarrassed the shit out of me. And I remember leaving there and just being like, I will never sound Canadian on film again. And I worked really hard to not sound like that ever again. That's from Are You Afraid of the Dark with the hat on.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The one to the right is a little more recent. But not much.
That's that's your IMDb photo.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's from The Boss. That was the Melissa McCarthy movie I did, but there's much more recent photos of me. But yeah, that's me. I went to Montreal with my dad as my chaperone, and he was like, "Well, we're getting you a pair of chinos and a shirt and a belt, and we're tucking it in, and we're going drinking." And I was like, "Oh, because in Montreal they don't give a shit." My dad took me to a bunch of bars and a pool hall, and we drank and played pool, and we went to a bar, and everywhere we went, he was like, "He's with me." He was like, "Tuck your shirt in, you're with me." And he just took me out drinking in Montreal.
That's
fantastic. One of my favorite memories of my dad and me. And we were there for like a week, and the crew was great after they stopped teasing me mercilessly about being Canadian in Canada. It was great. Yeah, drinking with dad.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Canada doesn't, well, the amount of big, large, 14-year-old boys in Canada that can walk right into any bar or gentleman's club, no questions asked. And I would have thought that you with the beard you were 10 years old.
Yeah, no,
you'll see like dudes like, oh, that's a 12-year-old who could like, fuck up, a kickboxer or something, because they're just like big, hearty, milk-filled boys. And you can walk into any bar, no problem in Canada.
I started going to bars when I was 15, 16. Obviously, I just said that, but I had like pretty much a full beard by the time I was 15, like for real.
Yeah.
It was like a little patchy, but I had a full beard, and I used my brother's ID, and I just got into any bar.
No problem.
Yeah, no problem, man. Canada's great. We used to actually drive over the border. I don't know if you ever did this too. We would go over the border and buy alcohol in Blaine.
Yeah.
And we would just say that we were on the metric system with our age.
What?
Yeah, and be like it works out that we're 22 in the States. I'm only 17 in Canada. We're on the metric system. We have a different calendar.
That's
hilarious. We went to one gas station right on the other side of the border in Blaine, and they every time, man, it sells 40s of OE and firecrackers and all kinds of shit.
That's oh my God, that is awesome that they bought that.
You were just banking on the American education system.
The funny thing is, my history teacher told me to try that. Mr. Sheriff, if you're out there, he was like, see if I would fall for this.
Metric calendars.
Yeah, or he had tried a metric calendar. Yeah. You guys are on Imperial. We're on metric. It's like the rest
really
of the world
good.
has a different calendar than you.
That's so fucking full.
I remember looking at the
I
ID
knew
going
that.
like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right.
Like looking at his wife like, yeah. Give me the ID back. I was like, thank you.
That makes sense. Oh, that's fucking awesome.
That tracks. Yeah,
Metric
man.
calendar. Holy shit. How do you guys know each other?
School dads.
Yeah.
Our kids go to the same school.
Oh, I live in Ojai.
Yeah.
So
you live in Ojai?
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Our kids aren't in the same grade or anything, but we met each other at like a party.
A birthday party.
Yeah,
birthday
bouncy
party.
castle party, and like we were sort of like drawn to each other in like a very platonic men in their 40s, 50s sort of way.
Yeah.
And
I was in my 40s then.
Yeah, you were in your 40s.
Yeah.
I was in my early 40s.
Yeah.
And it just sort of came together in this really like, you know how podcasts can kind of just, either they're just like conspired against completely and they never make it into the world, or they're just kind of there and you're like, well, that was easy.
Yeah. We should let everyone else hear what we're talking about.
Yeah. Exactly. It's so fascinating.
Good on you for not calling it bouncy cancel.
Yeah. But we wanted to make something a little more like, I don't know, responsible or accountable for like what's happening right now with men
and just presenting
and women,
presenting an alternative to kind of that manosphere bro podcast world, with all the right-wing influencers, and how are we trying to get better? And let's talk about that. And it's okay for guys to say we love each other, and it's all right.
I love you, Will.
I love you, Tyler.
Thanks, buddy.
I know you well enough.
I mean, I can see it happening sometime. Yeah.
This room is full of love. This room is full of love. Yeah.
So,
but yeah, we we talk a lot like about mental health on here. I don't know if you're comfortable talking about mental health at all, but he shudders. He shudders. Yeah, no, I recently finally came to terms with the fact that I needed to be on Wellbutrin.
Oh yeah,
the Welly Bees, yeah, and that came to me through a friend who was also kind of like, not me. I've never thought that I was depressed. My dad was depressed, my mom, my brothers. It all came very organically, but I was like, nope, not me. I'm the funny, weird one in the family. It skipped a beat with me, and then my buddy explained to me his feeling of like starting Wellbutrin, which is a very different sort of type of antidepressant. Because I never wanted to go on an antidepressant because of the sexual side effects and there's other things that can happen. And he was like, well, Wellbutrin is like the first time in his life, he was like, I think I experience joy the way other people do.
Ah, that's good.
And I was like, what? And he was like, I just don't think I ever enjoyed a thing like with normal array of human sort of emotion. And I was like, yeah, it's like I have a filter on half the time. Like I certainly present as being joyful and happy, but I always felt like there was just this little thing missing in my brain that I couldn't quite do it on my own. I couldn't, no matter what work I did, I couldn't quite enjoy things. I robbed myself of experiences right away. I'm like, no, you piece of shit, or this or that.
Dude.
Yeah, or any successes I have, I would take away. So I started Wellbutrin like, I don't know, 6 months ago. It was like right before
okay.
Yeah, and because I do a pharmacogenetic psychiatrist who's like, take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and I inject a bunch of shit in my stomach, and I take 25 millis of sertraline, which is Zoloft, and I take a small dose of Wellbutrin, 300 milligrams, and whoa, what a fucking difference, man. My life just, I feel like we've talked about this, but.
Well, a little bit. And, I was on Wellbutrin for a little while.
Oh,
You know, when I was kind of going through it, kind of as my marriage was ending, and I had that health incident where I collapsed after I broke my tooth that I talked about on probably episode 1 or something. Yeah. But my doctor was like, I think you're depressed. And you thought about it, and I was like, I guess I can try it. And I wasn't worried about sexual side effects because I wasn't having any sex.
But,
and, But I did it for like a year, maybe. It wasn't that long, and I didn't really notice a difference.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about Wellbutrin too. That apparently you can just like take it or leave it. You can like get off it pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, I think he had me come down.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I don't think you want
lower the
cold
dose,
turkey,
but yeah.
It's the same thing with my anxiety. I have clinical anxiety as well. I take buspirone for that, which is like this archaic, because I'm an alcoholic as well. So I have a myriad of issues, but the buspirone is like this old drug that doesn't really do anything. But you take it, and then after like 4 weeks, you're kind of like, oh, maybe I don't have a giant chasm in the middle of my chest that I'm breathing through. And Wellbutrin feels like that too.
It does do something.
It does. Yeah, well, yeah, but very, very, very slowly. Yeah, I can't take any of the good drugs because I get addicted to things way too easily.
Good drug, but you mean
like Xanax or like,
I
can't take any what's the other one that everyone takes? Adderall? Can't take Adderall.
Yeah, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, my anxiety is up here, and I would love to be able to pop a Adderall or whatever and just quell it, but I can't.
Yeah, well, fuck. I mean, yeah, it's interesting. You said like, well, not me. I'm not going to do that shit. And I've done stuff like that and had, been, dabbled with different kinds, and I find them beneficial. And I used to have that hardcore attitude. I think it's also the age, where it's like sort of, 20 years ago it was a different story. So, and you think back and you go, oh, that would have helped me. Anyway, I was watching this thing and there was this performer who was talking about exactly that. Like, I don't need that shit and blah, blah, blah. And he was kind of bumming out this live audience. Right. Like people going, well, fuck you then. Why are you talking? You clearly do. Then this comedian got up and was like, just out of nowhere, because it had to be said because this fellow was up there just being weird. And he goes, he spins this story out of nowhere about, I was walking to a friend's house and I was, whatever, I was walking and it was cold outside. And so I really tried to muster the heat from inside of me because I don't need, a coat. Right. And sort of like, that sort of stuck with me because it's like, no, it's okay to have a little bit of help. And there have been times where I'm on something for my, depression and shit. And it's like, it's not about changing you or anything like that. It's just about opening the little, like releasing the pressure valves so that you can be yourself. So that you can, the stuff that you are, whatever you are trying to work on or bring out that is genuinely you, can come out. So it's like, I'm just like, everyone should. No. It's like that movie. I mean, not just because we get it in the mail because we're Canadian, but
Brain Candy.
Whoops.
Big kids in the hall.
Brain Candy is fucking hilarious, and the fact like the whole world in the movie is on the drug.
Bruce McCullough.
I don't know which. Yeah, that would probably be Bruce. The drug.
Oh, you're on the drug. Oh.
Yeah, there's two syllables. My drug. My drug. Yeah, it's like, I'm not saying everybody, but if you need that, get the fuck.
If you're cold, put on a coat.
Put on a coat.
Put on a coat.
It came down to my sister-in-law. Like I was going through my divorce, right, and I was like, oh my god, this is hard, and the anxiety had gotten so bad, and I'd gotten on this buspirone, which didn't do shit for me except for kind of a placebo effect. And I was talking to my brother's wife, who's a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I'm sorry, Anna. And she just said that. She was like, hey man, like what are you trying to do? Like, you're trying to just like push your way through this on your own? Like you're just trying to be the first guy ever to beat clinical depression without taking drugs? And I was like, no. And she's like, if you need help, you get help. And then when you don't need it anymore, you talk to someone else about how to get off the help or how to find the help you need at that point. And it just and then that coupled with my friend kind of singing the praises of Wellbutrin, I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. And it has made a big difference.
That's
for me.
Great.
You know what's next for me? CPAP.
Oh fuck.
Oh my god, dude. My sleep is so fucked. Like I have the sleep apnea, which I didn't know, but I wake up on planes like this all the time. Everyone on the plane is pretending they didn't hear it, but clearly everyone heard me.
Did you do like a sleep study?
Yes, I did a sleep study years ago because I have active night terrors. I have like really bad sort of, it's not sleepwalking, it's not quite active night terrors, it's like active, just active. I'm very active at night. And I've been sleepwalking since I was a kid, and I went to this sleep study place. And they hooked me up to all this stuff, and they were going to observe me. And then I just slept. My brain was like, you can finally sleep. And I just slept, and I woke up, and they're like, look, we believe you, but like we have no data to go on. So if you want to come back and do it again,
you passed.
my brain was like, and so I just slept like a baby. And they were like, you can come back, and I just never went back. But yeah, because I was like, fuck you, brain. So I've been developing this apnea, and like a doctor's like, if you lose weight, you'll be fine. Didn't change anything. Oh, you won't have reflux anymore if you lose weight. They all say that shit. Like they just want, there's just some bullshit, like
they just want you to lose weight.
Doctor etiquette school they go to. Oh no, by the way, lose 35 pounds. Oh, thanks. I hadn't thought of that before. And so now I was at my cottage this summer. Another very Canadian thing to do. I was at my cottage.
Oh, fuck.
I was at my fucking cottage in Northern Ontario up by Barrie. And my cousin, who's a very important man in my life, very large human being, he was like, showing me his mask. He's like, try on the CPAP mask I got. And he's like, it's like this beautiful silver little box, and it's got this fun little dials and lights on it. And he showed me, he put it on me, and I was like, oh my God. And he just said it changed everything. Energy levels, his stability with his mood, his diet, like everything changed because he hadn't been sleeping. And I would say I averaged like 3 hours of sleep a night.
Come on.
Yeah. And I've never slept in my life. I don't remember ever not having. Well, that's why I drank so much half the time, was just to like knock myself out. But then you're not actually going to REM, so it's just like you're just having like dehydrated, like slowly killing you kind of sleep. So I think for me, CPAP.
You sleep 3 hours a night?
Maybe 3, 4, yeah.
Now, are you in bed for 3 or 4 hours?
Or I'm in bed for the whole thing, and I'm just sort of there like, oh man, like, or I'll wake up and I'll be like, Martha. What are we supposed to be doing right now? That's my most common thing. Is like, I'll lean over and be like, what are we supposed to be doing right now?
What are we supposed to be doing? Are you in like a stupor or what?
No.
You forget what sleep is?
Yeah, and often I'll be like, I'm like, is anyone going to call cut?
Okay.
Like yelling out to some director or crew that's in the room that I'm like, is someone going to call cut? And I'll be like lying there pretending to be acting like I'm sleeping. Like, this looks like I'm sleeping.
This is good. This is good sleeping.
Is someone going to call cut? Like, that's the kind of shit that's happening in my bedroom at night. And sometimes it's a little wilder. But I think a lot of it happens because of this. Right? And then I'm sort of pulled into my consciousness, but I'm still unconscious. And then, what am I supposed to be doing?
And Martha probably complains about your snoring.
She sleeps like a fucking rock, man, which is amazing. Awesome. Because it's been a real blessing, honestly, because it's a lot to deal with. She has developed a few things when I do wake her up where she's just like, the thing that you really need in that moment is not someone to be like, shush, go to bed, you're fine, or whatever. Right. You need someone. She goes like, oh yeah. Like, okay, yeah, that's interesting. Oh, well, yeah, you don't need to deal with that right now, or like, or go to bed, or whatever. If she has enough, patience in the moment. Usually, she's just like a gentle hand on the shoulder. And it's like, yeah, you're good. Go to bed.
I probably need one too. I mean, I think that was that had been noted that I was snoring back when I lived with somebody else, and so. Yeah, no, my daughter says it now still. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I have like a little mouth guard that I can put in.
Yeah, I have a hard soft.
Yeah, it's
for
comfortable though.
Sleep like, grinding.
Well, no, but I have one for grinding.
So that's the idea of sleep grinding?
I caught the yeah, that's really nice. Then there's one, like an over-the-counter one for snoring though.
Yeah.
So, but that's uncomfortable.
Doesn't it make you do this?
Yeah, it pulls your thing forward, and it's and then it's my jaw is sore in the morning. I don't really like it.
Well, you have the reset thing, right?
The reset?
Oh.
Yeah, you have to put a thing in to push your jaw back in the morning. You don't have that thing?
That resets your jaw?
Yeah.
No.
All right.
I just have the cheapie. No, is that really a thing, or are you shitting me?
No.
Okay, yeah.
Is that because your jaw's been sitting that way all night? It's like
so you
yeah, because I'm thinking it's like a retainer.
Right. Yeah, I have a thing where I went to, and they said, then they give you the thing, it jets your jaw a bit.
Yeah.
And, it helps you to not snore.
Clears that passageway.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you put in this other thing where your teeth are on top of each other. And you keep it in for 20 minutes.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Because I do worry about it. I'm like, is this going to change my...
I'm sort of like, my teeth are getting flat and
cracked.
Are
you grinding your teeth?
Sleep grinding. That's what I call it.
Yeah, no, that's why my teeth
for.
I'm gonna say,
just like
But my one for grinding is really thin, so it doesn't and it doesn't reset your jaw.
Mine is too, and then that is getting worn down. It's like really But here's what I wanted to say was the CPAP of it all, which sounds like a game changer to me. I'm just so like, and this might be in the realm of toxic masculinity or whatever you want to call it, it's just so unattractive. It's so old.
Totally.
Like sleeping next to my partner who is quite a lot younger than me, and then being like, and I've talked to her and she's like, do I seem like I would care about you wearing a mask at night? And I'm like, no, you don't. But there's just this thing. It's like this admission of being like, I need to wear an oxygen mask at night to go to sleep. And like, you know, maybe we'll be like, let's say we're hanging out, we're talking, we're intimate, and then I roll over and I'm like, put on my mask, and it just, there's something about it that makes me feel really
it's not
afraid of it. It's not sexy. But I should just get over that to have a better quality of life, right? And I'm not doing it.
It would enhance your sexiness at other times, maybe.
Yeah.
Because you're doing
well, and I think that she would find that attractive if I was like doing something to like proactively.
You could, you know, I don't know, this is going to sound like I'm making a joke, but you could role play like you're the bad guy from Mad Max.
Yeah.
I could also bedazzle the mask.
You could bedazzle
I could decorate the mask any way I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your mask.
That'd be cool. That might be sexy.
If you are watching on YouTube, which I highly recommend you do, you see that we have a vast array of Bearded Brotherhood,
A cornucopia
of Bearded Brotherhood products. So we got beard creams, beard oils,
beard butters,
beard
oils, beard bombs.
Man, there's a lot of different substances that you can get from the Bearded Brotherhood, and you apply all these things to your beard
all at the same time.
Yeah.
No, but there is a cool layering that you can get with the beard balms and with the oils, and you get kind of like the shine and the sheen, and you get a little bit of extra smell.
I'm getting more and more every day. I'm getting tempted to grow a beard,
and
so
also the oils are really lovely to apply on your skin. One of their other clients who has a scent of their own with Bearded Brotherhood did a tutorial about applying onto your skin, on your arms and your neck and your chest, and it's lovely. Stays all day.
Well, maybe I'll start doing that. You should have sent that to me.
Well, it's new. This is brand new.
Okay, great. I'm going to start using more of the products. I've been using the cologne, but I'm going to use some of this stuff. So if you want to get in on the action, I mean, these are fantastic products. You're going to want to go to thebeardedbrotherhood.co, and you can get 15% off if you use the code ILYSM15, and you can use that code over and over and over again. And also give them a follow on Instagram. It's at @the.beardedbrotherhood. Bearded Brotherhood. We love them. Go check them out.
We love you so much.
I've been an enthusiastic user of Patreon, you know, myself, as like I subscribe to Patreons. But now having a Patreon, I see the experience from the other side. And the other side of putting yourself out there, putting the content out there, and then having people respond. Having free members, that feels so good. Having paid members, that even feels better. And so all of our Patreon members are directly supporting the show, which is so meaningful, and it makes you and I know it just makes us feel really, really good.
Well, it's like it genuinely is a small little community, and there was like a lot of meaningful comments and back and forth communication that's starting to become like an actual part of my day. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's really rewarding to go in and read what people are saying, and we're putting more and more content all the time on there. I know we've been doing Tyler's Tuesday Tales.
Tyler's Tuesday Tales every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday, they're aptly named. And you get ad-free episodes, so you don't have to hear like this Patreon ad if you're already a Patreon member. So it really is, it works out really well for you. So you want to go to patreon.com/ILYSMpod. And a special shout out, of course, to Jonathan Newman and Jason, who are our top tier love bugs, who are, the
loveliest of bugs.
The loveliest of the bugs, yes. So that's patreon.com/ILYSMpod.
But yeah, the mask of it all, the CPAP of it all. Has that
I
ever?
like
do you have any of the issues with the?
Yeah, I went to and I had an inconclusive sleep test, and then I'll snore sometimes, but I don't have actual sleep apnea, so I'm on the I'm just on the edge there. But yeah, I went to a sleep doctor. I got to go to another one because recently, by recently I mean probably a year and a half ago.
That's recent for me.
Right. And I went, and it was a pain in the fucking ass, and I didn't sleep that much, and I slept way less than I know. I sleep fine.
Sleep good enough.
No, I sleep. I enjoy sleep, and I'm fortunate enough to sleep. I was complaining to the fucking doctor once I got back on the, I had the appointment with the doctor afterwards. I'm like, I don't think this worked because the shit I was like, I even told them there, oh, this Velcro's old. Like the Velcro's not holding.
You're blaming the gear.
Okay, so the reason I'm waking up is that this fucking Velcro is opening and scratching me, and thank goodness it is, so that I can tell you that the Velcro sucks. And then the lady's like, no, the Velcro's fine. And then she's like taping it up. And I'm like, now it's tape that's sticking to me. And guess what? The Velcro opened again.
Yeah.
Because the Velcro sucks.
Yeah.
So I drove all the way the fuck out here to go to sleep like a weirdo. And your Velcro doesn't work. And then you tell the doctor that. And he goes all God complex doctor on you.
Yeah.
And
It's
I usually
not the
have,
Velcro.
Yeah, he's like, it's not the, and I'm like, all right.
Listen, Will.
Yeah, it's not the it's not the Velcro. And then I'm getting real shitty, like, so when we do these things, that stuff should be on my body. Yeah, okay, because the Velcro, and I don't know if you heard this the other 5 times.
So it was just a showdown with you and God.
It was.
Yeah.
And then I told my GP, like, I need another sleep doctor.
Yeah.
And that was probably a year and 3 months ago.
Yeah, but the time flies though. We're having fun, you know.
We're busy.
We're busy. We're busy guys, man.
Podcasting.
You know,
I mean,
I'll sleep later.
7-Eleven
I'll
parking
sleep
lot
later.
with the fucking salami.
I'll sleep when I'm
and the Ben
fucking
and
dead,
Jerry's.
man.
Yeah.
I just think that the the older I get, the more like first of all, the less amount of years I have left to have good sleep. Like as you get older, from what I understand, your body's like, I only need like 4 hours. I'm going to get up at 4 a.m. and play bingo or whatever you're going to do in the middle of the night.
Well, you know, I'm a couple years older than you, and I woke up at like 5 this morning.
I kind of do wake up generally around 5:30 in the morning, and then make myself go back to sleep for a couple hours or an hour or whatever if it's a school day. And I think I've heard somewhere that like that's actually really bad for your circadian rhythm. So you should like get up fully, open your curtains, get up and be like, okay, I'm up, and then do something with your time instead of lying there like a schmuck and just being like, okay, go back to sleep. And then that coupled with the crazy night terrors and shit. Do you guys ever wake up and your hangy ball, your uvula, is so swollen?
Yeah.
That from snoring, or just dehydration.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
See how
And
little
it's like
we all cumulatively know about sleep disorder?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what that is?
Is that called your hangy ball?
Well,
my puke button, whatever you want to call it, the uvula, and it'll be like sitting on my tongue. It's so swollen, and all day I have to be like this. And like suck it back so it's not sitting on my tongue. And you can like I can drink cold water and so it'll get smaller through the day. But like often if I snore really hard at night, I will end up with this swollen uvula.
I have never heard
and
of
it makes me feel like I'm gonna puke almost all day because it's like getting tickled on my tongue.
This is actually inspiring me to go have another sleep test in another year and a half from now because
that'll come so quick.
I always thought that was from the air conditioning being too cold.
Well, it's a bit of both. Like the cold air is swelling your.
Yeah. I hope that there's a sleep doctor watching this going,
you're both wrong. You're so wrong, guys.
Fucking idiots trying to figure out.
Just snip it off.
Yeah.
You just snip it off. That's happened to you, and you've never once thought that was from snoring?
No, dude. Fucking so averse to admitting that I have a snoring problem that I'm like,
oh man,
I don't know that that's happened to me. I mean, not that I've noticed.
I used to call it souping it into submission. So I'd wake up and be like, the only thing that would make it go away was drinking soup. So I'd soup that thing into submission, man.
You got to get the CPAP, I think.
Yeah, right?
100%.
Yeah, if we all agree.
By the way, the voice you're hearing is just someone who walked by the studio.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, you got to get this.
Hello,
CPAP.
sir. What is your...
Before
Someone
we
say
moved
CPAP?
on, we did have a clip related. Hopefully, it'll make you feel a little better about your CPAP.
Oh,
but
this trash?
I thought you guys might want to
Hey,
hear
we
this.
need to like do a campaign for like dating a CPAP man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Well,
telling
You guys sleep next to Darth Vader every night. How the do you guys fall asleep?
We prefer calling them Bane.
My bad.
Don't you kind of like being with a guy that has to have a mask to breathe at night? Like there's something that I really like
Esther.
about it.
Because you're on the verge of death. Is that what gets you going?
It's just like, oh, he's so ill.
Anyway, women are
Well,
cool.
look at that. Did make me feel a little bit better. I think Esther is awesome. She's also attractive.
Very kind.
Yeah.
She has that take.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there needs to be more of that.
Right. Yeah.
Of the acceptance of like, hey man,
Right.
it's sexy to take care of yourself, which is a
Yeah.
thing I think men for ages have been like reluctant to
Right.
do. Like a year and a half since you had your last sleep.
Yeah.
It's like, every excuse
But
in the
that's
book.
a man. That's a stereotypical male thing.
Yeah.
Is to like not go to the doctor, not take care of stuff.
I think that's
right?
horrible.
And so yeah,
And I look at my
think that's
dad-
something we need to talk about more on this show actually,
Yeah.
because I think it happens to me. I think you're more proactive because you're such a hypochondriac.
Ever since the near death,
Yeah.
I've been really. But I've had
What
like,
happened?
I had this crazy. I had this really rare blood
episode
clot,
2.
Dude.
in between. It's your portal vein. It's your superior mesenteric vein, and it just happened out of the blue. And I ended up in the hospital almost dying for like 4 days. And they're just like blood thinners and this and that and that. You may die. We can't perform surgery. And I left there, and they're like, well, let's just see what happens. And after that, I had a hematologist and a GP and a oncologist and everybody. And I just had to like sort of slowly wait to see if I was going to die or if it was going to come back.
Jeez.
And after that kind of, sort of ebbed, I was like, time to get in shape and do the thing. It had nothing to do with my physical fitness, right. But I was like, fuck, man. And then after that, I was like, everything that comes up now, I'm like, it's so easy to go check in with your doctor. It's so easy to get blood work done. I don't like it, but I'm going to go do it. And I think like I mentioned this before, my dad almost perished recently from two things. He had crazy clotting in his lungs. He had pulmonary embolisms.
Holy
and
shit.
They took a picture. I don't know why they do this, but they have like a mat with his like a life-size representation of lungs on it. And they put his clots on the mat to sort of show in real, scale what they look like. And it was shocking. I can't unsee it. It was like giant, like lining his lungs with like bloody clumps.
Oh my God.
And he it took him passing out trying to change a tire on his truck in the middle of Texas, and he almost died like on the spot for him to even do that. And they like made him, they're like, we're doing this, we're checking it out, because he was like, I'm fine. And then he had this it started as like a golf ball sized lump in his chest. Right. And he was like, I broke a rib years ago playing golf. My body created a bunch of calcium. This is my impression of my dad. And that's what that is. It's just a calcium deposit. And we were like, that's cancer, man. It's like a ball in your chest.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't get it checked out, and it developed into this like grapefruit sized ball. And and last year he had to have that removed, 4 of his ribs resected. They took his pec muscle away, took his deltoid from his back, swung it over onto the front here. You can like see his heartbeat and his lungs filling and emptying in his chest. It's like, it's crazy. And it was because, I'm sorry, Dad, it's because he didn't want to go and deal with it. It probably, when it was a golf ball size thing, would not have been that. You know what I mean? And I haven't really said this to him that much, but like, fuck, man. Like, just go look at this lump in your chest. And so for me, there's this feeling of like, I'm not that stupid. And if I have been, I'm not going to be anymore. Like that's, my kids deserve me being more attentive. My partner deserves my attention with my body and my health, hence CPAP mask. But like, it is such a thing inherited from our parents. I mean, you have an old school Italian dad. Was he like up on like health care and like, or was he a little more dismissive?
Yeah, both.
Both.
Like he took care of himself, but he was like, he ran and shit, and up until whatever, until he was old. Yeah, and he lifted weights and all that stuff. He ate really clean, but he ignored some shit.
But he was kind of like a.
He was a jacked little fire hydrant of a guy. But
that's such a great image.
Yeah, no, he ignored some shit. He got cancer, years ago, 10 years before he passed, and like ignored some stuff early on, and you're just like, cancer. No.
Did that occur to you maybe, that ball in your chest is
right?
Yeah.
I mean, well, your old man probably could have pushed it another year and a half. But
yeah, probably.
Year and a half rule. The
year and a half rule. Yeah.
Right, no, and of course it's the dude thing to do, and just that generation, and also old world guy like my old man, just like where they just don't fix that shit. But it's like, it's like, what are you gonna do? Because it's their choice.
Yeah, ultimately, but then the people who end up sort of suffering the most from it are the people that are sitting around going like, hey man, like,
it's not that hard.
Yeah, and don't you want to be here?
I used to play chess with the guy, not literally, but like I remember. So what developed into what was cancer, and I was thinking about it, was like his voice is getting weird, and it was throat cancer, and so there was one night where I was like, well, let's go for dinner, you, me, and Mom, and we went out, and I forced him to get a steak because I knew he couldn't choke it back. I was like, his voice is sounding weird and stuff, and sure enough, it was like, and then we ended up at the emergency room, and
this was all your plan. Exposure therapy.
I was hoping that it would work, and it did.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like sort of like you got to kind of, outsmart these old dogs into
Yeah,
like,
nudge 'em a
well,
little.
I think, it's like, and I was like, we'll leave right now. We'll walk past everyone will be like, sir, you can't, I'll rip that wristband off and everything.
Right,
we'll just
right.
peace out. If tomorrow we go to he's like, all right, fine. I'm like, shake my fucking hand. We're doing it. All right, here we go. And we did. We just walked out, sir, bye. And, the next day we went to the old family doctor, who he, of course, was like, I don't want to listen to him. He knows what to do. Yeah, he's a fucking doctor.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, dude, throat cancer is I don't know if you remember or not, Will. Maybe you don't, but like my voice used to sound a lot different. You probably don't, but like I had really what some people would refer to as a horribly damaged voice. It was much more like I really struggled to kind of sound. It was like that was
You
my
did
thing.
have
it was
that-
like this raspy voice, right?
I would notice that you would sort of at the
End of the day.
Am I wrong to think? Well, I was going to say at the end of a sentence.
Oh yeah. My voice would be strong, and then I would run out of voice.
I thought that was just a choice.
No. So yeah, and that's the thing. People were like, "Your voice is so cool." I was like, "God, it's like a jail. It's a bane." I had to run everything through the voice filter. Like, how's this going to sound? Especially as an actor, like, how am I going to get this out? And I ended up getting hemorrhagic polyps, like on the back of my, like bleeding polyps on my
Holy
vocal cord.
shit.
I was in South Africa shooting this movie, and all of a sudden I was like, ping! Felt like someone took like an elastic and just wrapped it around my throat, and I was like, I think I need to go to a doctor. And I went, and they were like, yeah, you have like these bloody polyps in your throat. And they wanted to resect them in Cape Town. I was like, I'm going to wait till I get back to America and see my doctor. And I got it done, and I couldn't talk for like a week, or I wasn't supposed to. And then my voice, I opened my mouth, and it was like I had a normal voice again.
Wow.
And I mean, the first day I was like, hey, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to sound like this. Like, I freaked out, and Carrie was like, it's like an elastic band. It'll get, but I was like, no, this is it. My fucking career's over. It's like tight. And then I went to the garage and like screamed. I was like, like get down there.
Yeah.
And I got, anyway, probably. So my fear, and I smoked like 2 packs a day forever and was a big drinker. And I just was always like, I'm going to get throat cancer. I'm going to get throat cancer or tongue cancer. So like whenever anyone tells me a story about someone's voice getting weirder, it's like my voice is now starting to kind of regress a little bit back into the raspy thing.
But can you hear it in like your old, like if you watch something?
Oh, dude, I watch that stuff now, and
ago?
I'm like, even my kids are like, even when I did Voltron, I did this cartoon series Voltron. You would never know that was me. Like, not now. My kids are like, I can't believe that's you, Daddy. You sound so different. Like, it was a struggle for me.
But it wasn't
talk.
a voice you were doing. It was just your
I mean,
voice.
it was me straining to have any kind of control over my voice at the end. It was like you could see my veins in my neck sticking out when I was talking. And it was like everything had to be a push for me, and like I didn't know how to speak from my diaphragm. I had no resonance in my chest or in my face. It's all right here, right in my throat.
Well, but that's crazy. I mean, as an actor, don't you get trained in that stuff?
Dude, it was one of those things where people started. No, I never trained. I never trained. And I never will. I went to many vocal pathologists and went and got vocal training, and it's like I just do it wrong. I speak from the wrong place. I don't know how to speak
from your heart.
I speak from my esophagus. And I need to attach it to here, you know what I mean? It has to come from here, and I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I thought about it, and I tried to fix it for so long, and I just couldn't, and then it ended up being that, and then I got a free pass for like 3 years where I was like, it sounds fine now. And now it's starting to get bad again, and I'm like, well, not bad, but I can feel it coming back, and I'm fucking terrified that I'm going to get...
Nick Nolte.
That's it. That maybe should be my confession, that I probably need to go get my throat checked out again. But
I did have a question for you guys. It kind of leads into our last segment, but... I was thinking if you guys could go around, maybe list some of the men that inspire you that show, healthy masculinity or good symbols of that.
I got one. He happens to be a listener to the show and in our Patreon.
Oh, is it Matt?
It's my friend. You knew it was Matt. Yeah. My friend Matt Pepperocki. I'll shout him out, full name on the episode. He's like one of the best guys I've ever known, and we've been friends for a few years. His daughter and my daughter are really good friends. He's had some challenges in his life and stuff, and it's actually caused him to have a really unique take on things. But it's always from a spot of sensitivity and empathy. Like he's really the best at kind of putting himself in other people's shoes of anyone I've ever met. And so it's always if I have something that I need advice on, or even just talking about, whatever, something that's going on in town or politics or whatever, his take is always just a little bit over here, and it kind of makes you look at something in a different way. He also really inspires me in how he raises his daughter, what he talks about with her, in just how he, interacts with my daughter and the other women in his life.
That's cool. I don't know, Will, do you got one or do you want me to?
Man, I don't know. Like, bunch of my uncles, they're sweethearts, I mean, really, honestly, not one in particular, but like, like I think of like my uncles, like my mom's brothers, they're all sort of different and sweet.
Yeah.
And I was in, as I'd mentioned, my parents are from the old country. And so I was in Italy recently, and just, it's kind of interesting to just see the difference between, regionally when you're traveling or something, and you guys saying like, oh, using that term like, good, healthy masculinity and shit, and sort of, I don't know, I've always seen my dad love my mom, and that's never been like, strength, for some of these guys that I'm talking about does come from like a lot of warmth, and they're older now, so it's like you see even more of it, and you see these long relationships that they've had, because it is sort of this thing where they they meet when they're 13, and that's just kind of it, which is sweet, and sort of they are from this bygone era. Yeah, it's funny. My uncle Enzo is the youngest in the family of my mom's, bunch of 8 brothers and sisters and stuff. But he started after Molly and I got married. My wife, he'd never met her, but he just starts hitting her up, like talking to her on Facebook because her name is Sasso now. So
yeah, she's fam.
And he just starts hitting her up, and they had this really cute little pen pal thing, so that when they met, he was just sweet as hell. And I just kind of, speaking in real broad terms, I always sort of, I don't know, I kind of focus in on guy, and we watch older guys and go like, oh, how'd you do it? How'd you get through life? What's your deal? What's your, impart some wisdom to me and stuff. And I think that sort of, again, not one man in particular, but when I see old dudes that are just kind of sweet, but everyone's been through shit, and you kind of know it. It's like, that's always inspirational to me.
Yeah, that's true, man. Like, how did you end up with that kind of perspective?
Yeah,
going through what they've been through, probably, and the era that they were raised in. And I only had a couple examples of that in my life. Like my great uncle Norm, who died when he was like in his mid 90s. My family is a pretty complicated family when it comes to like, they're all literally a bunch of criminals, and like there's a lot of strange energy in my family. And my uncle Norm just always seemed like this dude that was just like a beacon of kindness, and his wife, my great aunt Ollie. But those aren't my examples anyway. My examples that I want to say, but there's just I just was kind of vibing with what you were saying about like there are some not every older generation is like misogynistic or a piece of shit,
Of course.
Just because they're men who grew up in a certain era. I think there's a lot to be gleaned from a lot of older men. I want to say that the people that I admire probably the most in that realm is my friend Steve Mallory, who I've mentioned on the show here.
You talk about him a lot.
He's just one of those guys that he'll do anything for his partner. I mean, without hurting him. He's the type of guy that he just helps. He's just a guy that helps everybody. He's empathetic. He's soft. He's intelligent. He's just one of those guys that I look at him like, man, the way you love. He said this to me. He said, you can love at 100% of the time with 100% of the people you meet. He's like, there's no cap on love, but just don't love blithely. I always thought that was such a nice thing to say. You have no cap on love as long as you don't love blithely. I was like, yeah, it's true, man. Like, don't give it away, but you have as much of that to give as you can possibly imagine. So I always thought that was really cool. And then my comedic hero, other than Will Sasso, was always John Candy. And John Candy to me is the first, maybe one of the only comedians I ever knew who his whole brand was victimless humor. He didn't make fun of himself. He didn't hurt other people. He didn't punch down. He was transparent. He was open about his problems. He was funny regardless. And I just thought, for me, growing up, I was like, that's what I want to be. I don't want to take other people down with me to get a laugh. I don't want to, you know, and I think that is very positive masculinity. And
well
so,
said.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking love.
Yeah.
I mean,
we
could talk for fucking 8 days about John.
John Candy was the best. Have you seen that interview with Steve Martin where he's reading that scene that was cut from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? He's at the end of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. John Candy has that big speech where he's like, he admits that his wife is dead, and it was like a big long page-long speech that they cut out, not because it wasn't good, it just didn't track with the movie. And Steve Martin wanted to read it, and he's reading it, and he just starts crying.
Oh my god!
And he starts talking about John Candy like in
the
most emotional way, and you're just like, you can just feel how he affected people around him, like people like Steve Martin, superstars, you know, who are like, just the love that they have for him speaks volumes. And that interview is amazing. It's really
I got to
cool.
see that. That's fucking.
Yeah, Martin Short has a bunch of crazy things to say about him too. That are like, my friend Matt Finocchio, his uncle is Martin Short, and he grew up with John Candy like around his.
Oh, I know.
You know Matt Finocchio? Yeah. So anyway,
I worked with him on something, and I know his father, who's an amazing writer, Mike Short, who wrote on SATV. He also wrote on MADtv for a while. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He, an amazing elder statesman of comedy, and there you go.
That generation, man. Whoa.
Hey, we did it.
And Enzo, I want to meet Enzo.
Sweet fucking guy. Had a horn growing on his head, you know,
like a wen,
some sort of weird like keratosis thing.
Yeah.
Had a fucking sweet horn growing on his head.
One horn.
Did he just leave it?
No, he got it cut off right before we saw him. I was like, fuck, should have thrown another one here. Like, he was all about the fucking horn. They took pictures and stuff.
He could have had a prosthetic second
See,
horn.
guys,
lean into it.
Guys everywhere don't really pay attention to shit. You know, your voice is getting crackly, your old man this, my old man that.
Horn.
Fucking Zio Enzo with a goddamn horn. Like, you really need, I need to see some evidence before I go back to the sleep doctor. I need to have a horn.
Yeah. Next time you have a swollen hanging ball, just go to the doctor.
Next time my wife is like, "Did you just go to the sleep doctor? You see a fucking horn in my head? I'm not going to the sleep doctor yet."
Okay.
All right. Well, we always want to end with gratitude, and of course, it goes to our guest, Will Sasso. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here, man.
For being here.
having me.
Super appreciate it. And we have gratitude to the whole crew here, All Things Comedy, for letting us use this space. And then, of course, mostly to our viewers and our listeners, especially those of you who are on Patreon, especially Jonathan Newman and Jason, our top tier love bugs. If you want to be a love bug, get into patreon.com/ILYSM pod. We got a lot of cool stuff going on there. And thank you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.
I love you too, man. And we love you so much, everybody.